mga librarians, teachers, and parents. We have a special guest today at magkukwentuhan tayo sa napakaraming bagay tungkol sa campus journalism, sa mga aklat na naisulat niya, sa mga kabisi-bisihan na ginagawa niya sa panahon ng pandemya. Walang iba kundi ang aking kaibigan, kapatid sa pananalig sa industriya. Walang iba kundi si Randy Garlitos.
Hello, magandang hapon sa inyo. Magandang hapon na Mama Z. Tawag ko kay Zara ay Mama Z. Mama Zara.
Yeah.
Oo. Yun.
Okay.
Kinagagala ko maging part ng author talk ni Zara G. Matagal ko na siyang kilala. Isa rin kasama ko rin siyang isang kwentong author ng mga kwentong pambata for Kuting.
Ayan. So Randy, magkakumustahan muna tayo bago natin pag-usapan yung mga mahalagang bagay na ginagawa mo bilang manunulat sa panahon ng pandemya. Kamusta ka na sa panahon ng pandemya? Bilang Randy, bilang writer?
Yes, actually of course lahat naman tayo naapektuhan adversely nitong pandemic, pero ang maganda kasi nito, na-experience ko yung, of course, lahat tayo nagkaroon ng, ang tawag dito, yung cabin fever, yung term doon, yung cabin fever phenomenon na nakaranas tayo ng depression, nakaranas tayo ng extraordinary anxiety during nung na-experience ko to nung immediately nung nag-start yung lockdown, no? So iba pala kasi sanay kasi ako na nagbabiyahe to deliver lectures, naimbitahan ako sa iba-ibang lugar. Supposedly, meron akong, parang dapat nag-iikot-ikot na ako ng Pilipinas noong April, biglang nag-lockdown. So, syempre, means of income ko rin yun. So, parang, nakaramdam ako ng ibang klaseng pag-alala. I felt that fear, parang, I felt the depression slowly creeping in on me. I started hindi naman nag-deactivate, pero I started hibernating. Naging inactive ako sa Facebook, sa social media, and I even refused the communicating with friends. Parang, or kung meron man, necessary man makipag-usap, parang hindi ako masyadong nag-interact. So, tapos na-realize ko, I have to snap out of it kasi parang I have to get control of my life. So I started thinking of ways para makabangon economically. And naisip ko nga na mag-sell online ng mga books ko kasi anong nangyari, one of my publishers, Vibal, had left me with a good number of copies of my books na supposedly binibenta ko during the seminar. So sabi ko, kesa naman tignan ko lang to dito, sabi ko, I might as well sell it. And then I started selling online through Randy Reads nga. So I started this online bookshop. Marami naman bumibili so far. Although syempre hindi yun enough. At the same time, nakaisip din yung kaibigan kong teacher na sabi niya, bakit hindi ka mag-seminar ng children's book writing? So sabi ko, oo nga naman pala, yun ang una kong ginagawa prior to the lockdown, prior to the pandemic. So I started Randy Writes nga. So nag-lecture ako sa teachers, mga bata, on how they could become the next children's book author of the Philippines.
Ayun.
Kumbaga.
Nakakatuwa naman, Randy, at na-overcome mo, no, ang yung cabin fever. At naka-transition ka na dun sa stage ng pagtanggap, 'di ba? Kasi una, denial talaga 'yan. Anong gagawin natin? Totoo ba? Nangyayari ba 'to, no? And you mentioned three important things, no, nung kinamusta kita. Una, napuna ko yung pagbabago ng schedule mo kasi alam ko nagtitrain ka talaga sa kung saan-saan, no? From DepEd, Mindanao, DepEd, Luzon, talagang napaka-active ng iyong lifestyle din, ano? So lahat 'yun nawala. And second, narinig ko sa kwento mo na nagbukas ka ng isang online bookshop, online bookstore, tama?
Yes, oo.
So pag-uusapan natin yung dalawang 'yon. Ano ba yung training na ginagawa mo dati? At ano yung kabisi-bisihan mo sa yung bookshop? Babalikan natin
Oo.
yan. At pangatlo, bumalik ka uli sa pagtitraining. May mga training
Yes.
sessions ka and I think this is an online training na ginagawa mo na.
Totoo. Yes. Oo.
Yes, so meron kang mga webinars. Kung may Randy Reads na online bookshop, meron namang Randy Writes.
Yes. Binabrand ko rin sarili ko.
Panalo, sige. In the course of our discussion, sana mapag-usapan din natin yung mga aklat na nagawa mo na, yung current projects mo, no? Kasi marami ding nakikinig sa ating mga school librarians. At kung kami, problema kami kung paano namin ihahatid ang mga physical books sa mga mambabasa, lalo na sa mga bata. Naghahanap din kami ng paraan para makipag-connect sa iba pang mga content creators. So, yeah, maybe this is our way of compensating, no? Sa physical library na sarado ngayon, we will also capitalize on the online and digital environment. Ayan, sige, Randy, ano yung mga, doon muna tayo sa training. Ano yung mga training na ginagawa mo before COVID and now that there's a pandemic?
Yeah, actually, I conduct seminars and clinicking sessions for not only storybook writing, but also campus journalism. So, dalawa yun kasi DepEd has two competitions. No? One is the NSPC or the National Schools Press Conference. It's a yearly competition. It's like the Olympics or palarong pambansa ng campus journalists sa Pilipinas. No? So, prior to the lockdown, I was actually in Tugigaraw, which is the host city of the NSPC. So,
hometown ng tatay ko yan, Tugigaraw.
Ay, wow, okay. Oo.
Ang huling bisita ko 2014 pa. So, buti nakaakyat ka ng Tugigaraw bago mag-lockdown.
Yes, oo. At nakalabas din ako doon bago rin mag-lockdown. Otherwise, baka tumira na ako doon.
Kumusta naman ang yun doon? Was it a training or a competition?
Both. Kasi nangyari, one region contacted me to conduct parang ang tawag dito doon, refresher yun for the contestants ng kanilang region. So I conducted parang for 3 days prior to the competition, I conducted parang lectures and at the same time I had one-on-one trainings with the contestants. Ang nangyayari kasi sa NSPC, mayroong mga individual tsaka group categories. So I was training both, no, for one team. Oo. So one is yung feature and editorial writing, and the other is yung tinatawag na online publishing and collaborative publishing. So maraming mga categories actually to, no. So merong group, merong individual, tapos meron ding school paper. So the other training naman that I conduct naman, this is for teachers naman. The other one is for students and student trainers, yung mga teachers then coaches. The other is the National Storybook Writing Competition. So being a storybook writer, I had the chance to meet mga regional supervisors, division supervisors who wanted ways how to create a good storybook, no? So although primarily this is for competition, the major goal of each regional and division LRMDS, if you're familiar with that, parang learning resources management, is to be able to gather like a system portal na parang online library. So they would be downloading not only not only lessons or not only the typical lesson plans or learning resources for teachers and students, but also creative works by teachers that can be used to teach Filipino, mother tongue language education, and other subjects then. So they were already creating. So naging part din ako in a way with those trainings, so that kumbaga I was teaching the teachers that if they're going to write a story, they will have to, tweak their ideas of what a children's book is. Kasi mostly when they write children's stories, it's the typical good child, bad child. Yung
Yeah.
tipong, example,
Oo.
yung ang batang ayaw kumain ng gulay o
Yeah.
ang batang addict sa computer games. Yung mga ganong klase mga titles. So sabi ko, tsaka yung typical lesson na nangyayari, yung mga bata ay parang they have to undergo this traumatic traumatic experience, like magkakaroon sila ng bad dreams or
True, oo.
ganun yung typical di ba, yung
Yes.
template ng writing ng mga teachers.
Yes.
Kasi the goal is to emphasize na parang pabula or fable na ito yung lesson. Matutong kumain ng gulay, matutong mag-limit ng time sa paglalaro ng computer games, etc.
Yes.
May ganun. So sabi ko, you can create stories na pwede ninyong gawin na parang yung mga nababasa, tinuturo nyo sa mga bata. So sabi ko, kung nabasa na ninyo yung libro ko, malamang makikita ninyo na iba yung paraan ng pagkakwento. So, pwede nyo rin gawin yun. And the NSWC, or the National Storybook Writing Competition, was slowly parang changing the game in content creation. So, doon nag-start yung content creation ng mga teachers na ngayon gravitate na rin to other platforms like online TV lessons.
Yes,
diba? May mga teachers na ngayon na may sariling channels.
Yes,
na bukod pa, di ba, mga public school teachers no? So, suddenly teachers are now
transmedia na to, no?
Correct. Transmedia, multimedia, tsaka
ang demand niyan is transliteracy din, di ba?
Correct.
How do you become a literate person in the different media formats? So, paano mo maiintindihan yung mensahe sa bawat media? Sometimes media can also be the message. The media itself is the message, no? So, ang dami palang ginawa ng COVID-19 sa atin, no? Na additionally, di ba, we are looking at ways to help teachers create content that they can use for teaching, to grow an online library. Ngayon, tumawid na rin sila, no? Hindi lang aklat ang ginagawa nila, gumagawa na rin sila ng ibang mga media formats. At saka ang bilis yata nung switch, Randy, no?
Correct. Tsaka nangyari ngayon,
maka-adapt sila ng mabilis.
Oo. Since part din naman ako ng media, being a writer, contributor for Manila Bulletin, na feel din actually sa journalism yung bite ng pandemic, which is actually parang it's an impending thing. That's not only because of the pandemic, but because
it's bound to happen.
There's a prediction that parang in 20 years mamamatay ang print media.
Yeah.
Oo, para mamamatay yung physical printed newspaper na
may ganung prediction, ano?
Yes, na actually na-hasten because of the pandemic. I mean, maraming dyaryo ang nagko-close at saka nag-retrench. I could not name newspaper brands, but some cut half of their staff. Some of them let go long time staff. I think this, in a way, it also affected not only the print media but also broadcast media. Kasi di ba,
lahat.
Of course, nangyari yung ABS-CBN thing, di ba?
Yes,
tapos, isa rin yung balita dun sa one other thing with GMA Dow, no? Na they were retrenching people, parang although hindi yata natuloy kasi parang nagkaroon ng clamor na wag naman kasi hindi pa nakakabawi yung mga tao, di ba? Physically.
So
tapos,
talagang ang laki din ng change, no, na ibinigay ng COVID-19. But I'm glad to hear your stories that somehow you're adapting to this change and you're rising up to the challenges, no?
Yes, we are all adapting until now.
I think there is really no choice for us but to really adapt and go through this, to ride this out, sabi nga, no, kung saan man tayo hahantong. So, nung nagbibigay ka ng training for campus journalism, nagbibigay ka ng training for storybook writing, in the traditional sense, na namomonitor mo talaga yung mga output ng mga wino-workshop mo. Syempre, ang kanilang publication, very, pa din, no, yung brick and mortar pa rin na school organ, and then yung storybook na familiar tayo, na may 32 pages, illustrated, etc. down the line. And then nag-transition na nga sa online. So yung mga trainings mo nasa online na rin.
Yes, so actually.
Okay.
And
so, sige, pag-usapan muna natin yon, yung Randy. Yan na ba yung Randy Writes?
Yes, yung Randy Writes. So,
Iba pa yung Randy Reads.
Yung Randy Reads, yun yung mismong bookshop.
Okay, sige.
Yung Randy Writes, sabi ko, totally brand ko na rin lang sarili ko. Diba? We're all now into branding. So, nangyari, I started thinking of it na total, I'm already creating a name as a lecturer on children's storybook writing. Might as well continue it for the time being habang, of course, I'm sure this will not go, although I hope this will become on a regular basis, pero maybe if we know that the situation normalizes, we'll all go back to the typical face-to-face clinicking, teaching. Kasi iba pa din eh.
Iba pa rin. Agree naman ako doon. Alam mo, meron nga akong mga nakakausap na parents, and I ask them about their children, how they're adapting to the environment of online distance learning, and then they say na namimiss ng mga anak nila yung social component ng school, namimiss nila yung tunog ng boses ng teacher, kasi iba daw ang tunog na lumalabas kapag nasa Zoom, di ba? And then of course, you have the social cues, you have the non-verbal communication na very unique sa human interaction. So, ayan, nakakatuwa naman at involved ka din sa napakaraming workshop that will empower people, that will help our DepEd teachers, no? At patuloy sa panahon ng pandemya dahil nakakuha naman tayo ng avenue through online and digital environment. So, mag-share na ako ng screen ha, because I would really like our viewers to look at Randy Reads and Randy Writes. Ayan, the third Randy Writes.
Yes.
National webinar and write shop on creating short stories for children.
Yes,
okay. So you know, Randy, even this poster ang gandang tingnan. O, di ba? Meron ka ditong mga awards. Kwentuhan mo naman kami, ano tong award na to, at saka ano pa tong isang bilog na to. IDPY and then CBTY.
Yes, actually, ano yan, I started Randy Writes in August, no? Although hindi pa yun yung exact name niya before. So, sabi ko nga, I had to do something, and somebody yung teachers nga they wanted continuing learning, kasi syempre many of them are now being asked to do short stories or content for the children. So sabi ko, sige, I'll conduct. And then maganda rin, parang master's class na siya, no?
Wow.
So 3 sessions 'yun that I'm conducting. Tapos so merong parang modular siya eh. Tapos so from creating ideas, of course my background history, bakit may children's literature.
Yes.
So I give a bit of history, and then the idea of, the basic elements of short story writing, and then towards the end, then yung revision. And many of this, actually, I require, not really require, but parang I encourage the teachers or the participants, most of them kasi are teachers I require the participants to produce a story. And surprisingly, some of them produce not only 1 but sometimes 3 or 5 stories.
Wow!
Ganahan yung iba.
Ang galing 3 to 5 stories.
Yes, so dumami bigla yung critic. Dinaig pa ako, no, na mas productive sila sa akin kasi perhaps it's that parang energy inside them that it's yearning to be out, no? So,
sa tingin mo ba, dulot to ng pandemya?
Yes, kasi either you're bored, you're having feelings, tsaka and in the cases of many of the teachers, they're experiencing a transition that has not prepared them. So for example, many of these teachers were suddenly doing things that they're not doing, like
Yeah,
module writing,
totoo.
attending online webinars, kasi supposedly naghihin sa training na yung mga yan eh. In the physical, in the old normal, hindi yung new normal. In the old normal, they were doing all these things again sa training. They were going to hotels and
Yeah.
attending all these seminars conducted by different outfits. And then suddenly, walang nagko-conduct, so they were gravitating to webinar creators, like for
Yes.
example, 'di ba, yung Vibal and Adarna and all those and all other educational institutions,
Oo.
and they're even into storytelling right now. So yun nga, maganda na mapag-aralan din nila yung basics ng short story writing para tsaka in fact, ang dami sa mga nag-attend sa webinars ko, they're not only teachers, there are students, and are even, in fact, some of them were based abroad, no? Mga Filipinos based abroad. One was a teacher in Texas, na
Yeah.
Filipino siya, na I think nag-migrate doon. The other one is an aircraft mechanic from Abu Dhabi. So imagine mo yan na they are suddenly becoming interested in
Children's book
storybooks.
writing.
Yes. And some of them already have an ideas. They just wanted the guidance, no? So
True.
that a mentor does. So
Yes.
even after the physical webinar, the online webinars, what I do is actually the continuing learning is that I am critiquing the stories they submitted, and nandun yung process ng one-on-one. So, yun din. Although, I admit, mas matrabaho to kasi iba yung spontaneous critiquing eh.
Yes,
Parang,
oo. I remember
read it.
our workshops in Kuting.
Yes, di ba? Yung
Diba?
one-on-one.
Iba rin yun, oo.
Yung for example, you will see this on a piece of paper, and then you can easily point out, madaling matukoy. Kasi you're doing it parang at the moment eh. Pero sa pag online critiquing, what you do is you're trying to create careful critiques, diba? Na usually sa physical critiquing, yung one-on-one critiquing physically, spontaneous ka, so minsan the comments could come off as hard or harsh.
Yeah.
Pero dito you have to be careful kasi you're not dealing with these are novice writers. You don't want to kill their dreams, which
yung pa isa, yes.
yung rites of passage na alam mo yun, na pinagdadaanan nating mga writers na para meron kang baptism of fire and ice. Yung term ko dun eh. Yung mga karanas ka makarinig ng
Yeah, nagbago din yung yung stance mo when you train face to face and when you train in an online environment. So here narinig ko sa iyo yung mentoring and guiding. So now you are more of a coach.
Yes.
No? And then limited din kasi ang time mo. So ang ginagawa mo talaga, very particular ka dun sa mga ibibigay mong comments sa kanilang mga trabaho.
Totoo yun.
Yes. Ang galing, Randy, at nakakatuwa na sa panahon ngayon, no, you were able to get out of that funk early on in the course of the pandemic nung onset niya dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. Kaya nakakapag-writing workshop ka na. At